Hey, everybody. Great Monday evening. Great Monday evening. Happy October 9th. It is Dr. Renissa Short. Welcome once again to another episode of Conversations with Chosen Pen. We are delighted and so excited that you decided to carve out time today to be with us or to watch the replay. Be sure to leave us a comment, give us some hearts, like and share this podcast. We want to grow this community. Absolutely, we do. And guess what? We have another episode with some more wonderful guests as usual. But not only that, Dr. Norma McLaughlin is back. Can you get excited to see her lovely face? Dr. Norma, do you want to welcome or greet your fan club?
Hello, everyone. Dr. Nissa always does such a great job, not only when I'm here, but also when I'm away. I can always count on her to keep things going and give you all exceptional programming. But today, I welcome all of you back to Conversations with Chosen Pen. It is my desire that each and everyone who listens gets something from what we do here with Chosen Pen. It's centered around the authors, but usually we have a theme each month, and those things, I believe, are things that are dear to people's heart and answers to a lot of the questions that they may have. So not only are we doing that with our themes, but once we finish with the broadcast, if you have questions, of course, we are here as coaches, as mentors, as anything that you may need to address whatever those questions are. So again, welcome to Conversations with Chosen Pen with my very, very, very special guest tonight.
Yes, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Norma. You have been missed. Even though you trust me with this assignment, it's not the same without you. So I'm glad you're back. For those of you who've been watching, you know we have been talking a lot about the 10th anniversary of Chosen Pen. Well, guess what? The conversation continues. The celebration continues because the month of October is actually the anniversary month. But as I shared on last week, Dr. Norma wears a lot of hats. So balancing it, and that's what we have to do as women, right? We have to balance it. We have to find harmony. And so last month, we had the official celebration of the 10 years of 1 decade of service that Chosen Pen has extended to the literary world. And we're, of course, we're continuing the conversation. And today is no different than last week. It is no different from any other week. We have fabulous guests in the studio with us. One coming all the way from the state of Florida and the other all the way from the state of North Carolina. They were panelists during the Forbes Business Council experience, and they're here just to share their insight. We paid them well to say all the positive things about how things went. So, get ready and take notes, right? This is how we do it in Chosen Men. But ladies, thank you so very much for being with us tonight. We thank you for saying yes to the invitation, not only to be here, but to be a part of the celebration. So why don't we get started? So we love for you to share a little bit about who are you? Who are you? What do you do? What value do you bring to the world, of course? So let's start first with our affiliate in North Carolina, Charlotte to be specific, Miss DeWeedy. She lives in Charlotte by way of Liberia, Africa. So DeWeedy Baker, thank you so much again for being with us. Tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on Chosen Pen Show and to be a part of the celebration. I am Dawidi Baker, like she stated before, and I am a nurse, a business technology consultant, and also a button entrepreneur.
All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then one of our besties, all the way from the state of Florida. And of course, she comes by way of somewhere else. It just escapes me now where, but nevertheless, she's in Florida as well. Dr. Portia, hello, sweetie. Tell us a little bit about you.
So I am originally from the lovely island of St. Lucia. And yes, in the Caribbean, that's a place you have no choice but to put on your bucket list.
I know,
Okay.
right?
So, but I'm originally from the island of St. Lucia. I am honored to be here. I'm always on the other end of your podcast.
Yes.
So today I get to sit and to chat with you. So I'm enjoying that. I'm a brand and business strategist. Yes, I am an international speaker. What's the other accolades we put behind my name? I'm the doctor of Christian leadership, which I totally enjoy. I'm a minister of the gospel and the founder of She Ministries, which is an online community for leading ladies as ourselves. We come together and we chat about the things the secret things that concern us and how we could yield from those things. And I'm a mom. I'm a mom of two handsome boys. Okay, a mom of my oldest is on the spectrum, so most of the times you hear me talk about that. And then the youngest is like 12 going on 25, so that's a different conversation all by itself.
That's my boy.
Yes, that is your boy. And then I am a wife and just keeping busy. So there.
Well, like we said, we wear lots of hats. Women, we wear lots of hats.
Yes.
So yes. So we are delighted that you all not only said yes to the opportunity to be a part of the celebration, but the relationships with the both of you were established even prior to this particular event. So I believe, Dawidi, we actually met in South Africa last year because you were a part of the TEDx experience there. And then, of course, we connected and we realized we were all in the state of North Carolina. Isn't it funny? We had to go all the way to South Africa to meet each other in the same state, right? But anyway, that's another story for another time. But both of you are speakers on an international platform. You're doing great things from your own perspectives. And so to have you bring your gifts and talents to the stage for the Forbes Business Council to be a part of the 10-year, the decade, Chosen Pen turns 10 celebration was another plus. And I believe you both were on the same panel.
Yes.
We had to do with females in entrepreneurship in and of itself. So let's go in the same order. Dawidi, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about what that panel. Well, let me just say this: Ebony Walker was the moderator, and she did a fabulous job
Yes,
moderating, an excellent job. But you guys did great jobs as well in sharing from your perspective viewpoints. But let's talk a little bit about the panel in and of itself. Whether you want to share from your own viewpoint or overall, is perfectly fine. Dawidi, we'll start with you.
Yes, I must agree with you. Ebony did an exceptional job. I actually had an opportunity to talk with her about 10 or 15 minutes or so before the panel started. So we bonded a little bit, and I thought she did an exceptional job. The women on the panel, there was a total of, I think, 6 of us that were on the panel. And it's funny that in the background, even before we got on the stage, we were taking pictures together. We were just chatting and really bonding. And I think the relationships from there will be things that we will treasure for a long time in that particular experience. It was such a mind-blowing experience to be a part of the Forbes Business Council. And I remember telling you, Anissa, just to see my picture on the cover, it was just something to behold in itself. So the experience with the women, talking with them, and on the panel itself, just learning or sharing with others what we have experienced in entrepreneurship, I think was incredible.
That's great. Yeah, it would not be like us as women not to take time to take selfies, to pose for the camera. That's all a part of, the experience. But then I believe that for me personally, just being able to meet people that we probably would not have ever met in the first place, and then be able to have a connection immediately. That was an added plus to the event. Come on, Dr. Portia, tell us what you thought. I mean, she looked fabulous on the stage. Let me just say that. She looked so regal, and I know royalty is your emphasis with your talk show and everything. Well, you did a fabulous job representing your brand.
Well, thank you so much. Listen, first of all, let me just say, I've had the pleasure of speaking and working and laughing and crying and arguing with Dr. Anissa and Dr. Norma for years. And I got to meet them in person at that event. And I think for me, just meeting them was a done deal for me, because it was great to put the name and the voice and the personalities to an actual human being. So let's just throw that out there. I was besides myself to get the opportunity to meet them in person. And then I also got the opportunity to meet new people. Like my girlfriend right over there. I got to meet her and to hug her. And then the mommy was loving up on me. I mean, I almost went home with your mommy. But it was good to mingle with like-minded women. And the amazing thing is, each of us got the opportunity to learn something from everybody. You always start to think that you're the only one going through stuff, and you're the only one that maybe saw difficulties in particular situations. But until you hear other women's stories, you realize that they've been there, done that, they've figured it out, and you just have to tap into what it is that works. and how you now on the other end could learn from that. So that was my experience right there. The opportunity to meet people that we have never met before, the opportunity to meet those that you've always been working and never got the opportunity to meet them in person, but also to learn from those ladies.
I love it. I love it. Dr. Portia, you bring a very valid, a very pivotal point, because our connection was through social media from the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't even thought about it, because in planning for you to come here and all the logistics that we had behind the scenes and having conversations with you and others, it didn't even occur to me until we were actually in each other's presence. And you go, do I not get to hug? We just met. And I'm like, oh my God, we did just meet. But I felt like I already knew you. You know, that was a beautiful thing. For those who did not embrace the social media platform, or to work virtually during the pandemic, really did themselves a disservice, because we connected through the virtual world, but now we're growing our relationship now that, the world is back open again, so that was a plus. Dr. Norma, come on, shed some light. No one has heard from you since the event, and we want to know, what was it like for you? I know you and I and a handful of others did a lot of behind the scenes logistically leading up, but to see all of it come to fruition, shed some light on it, how it, from your perspective, if you would.
The event was absolutely marvelous, but I suppose from a mother to see my babies who've gone over with the crying and I can't do this speech and you made me do this and I can't do that, but to see them professionally deliver their speeches and represent their brands and represent whatever it was absolutely heartwarming, amazing, tear-jerking for me. I'm going, I've been training, we've been working, and it's just to see them walk out there and deliver.
Right.
Yes, was probably, of course, and for me, they delivered what we talked about. They delivered something that I know anyone and everyone who ever sees or hears this will learn from and be able to project it onto some other parts of their lives. That's what the whole speaking opportunities are about. They're not for you, but they're for the people with whom you're speaking, or to whom you're speaking. And my whole feelings to that, although it was representing chosen pens, none of that had anything to do with my feelings that weekend. It was more that you all were really putting yourselves out there. You represented yourselves well, and the Forbes is very, very proud.
Yes, I agree, Dr. Norma. It was funny. Everybody was nervous, right? Oh my God.
Yes,
I don't know.
everybody was.
I'm like, just calm down. And of course, I could say that because I was out on the panel, right? Just calm down. It's going to be okay. But you could not tell anyone had nerves or jitters when they got on stage. They represented with excellence. I will say this, and this is to a point that was raised in last week's podcast, was, when opportunities to be in the room are presented, you should take advantage, because there will be something to be gained from this being in the space, and a lot of times we'll say no to the opportunity because we're reflecting too much of what we think are our inefficiencies or deficiencies or what have you. But we always grow when we press through, right? We always grow when we press through. And so if nothing more than the connections, to be able to present yourselves and your brands and to represent on the Forbes Business Council stage was a plus, because that's something else to add to your resume. But it also it pushed you to bring out another element of the best of what you have to offer. And then the connections were like the gravy or the cherry on the top, to be able to build relationships with other people that you wouldn't have otherwise met. Tiffany Chichi, who was on our show on last week, says, Dr. Norma, Dr. Anissa, and Chosen Pen team did an amazing job hosting. Congrats for 10 years. So thanks, Tiffany. She and Takia were the guests, because they represented on the literacy panel during the Forbes Business Council. So to have you both here as a part of the Entrepreneurship Council is an added plus. So let's talk a little bit about the event overall. It started on Friday night with a mingle, and then we had the Forbes Council that Saturday day, and then Saturday night was the official celebration with it. Listen, the dinner. We'll come to that last, but let's talk a little bit about the overall event. Friday and both events on Saturday. Portia, we're gonna start with you this time. What would you have to offer someone in the event in the future based on your experience with the first time being in the space, live with a Chosen Pen event?
I would say number one, I came in not knowing what to expect. I will be quite honest. The first thing when I saw Dr. Dorma, I said to her, "Did you see that plane I came in?" I was like, "Did you see? Did you?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, it's okay. The plane you came on was bigger than what we normally have, so you'll be all right."
Oh, Dr. Norma.
So it was an experience for me. I'd never been to that area, so that was all new for me. But when I think what really got me to calm down and to say, okay, this is it, it's just seeing the whole preparation of everything was nicely put together, nicely planned. I like the fact that the banners were up where you could take photos. The everybody was welcoming and ready to assist, ready to help with whatever the questions you had, whatever you wanted to, and then by the time everybody put their tables together of their products and stuff, it was just it took it to the next level where, okay, you know what, this is not just let's try our luck, but this is serious business. This, everybody's taking it seriously. Everybody's understanding that this is you evolving into another platform, into another area of business, and everybody took it for that. It was a serious event. It wasn't something where you just come and try to see. You know what, people tend to do that. Oh, I'll just try to see what happens. No, everybody took it at its for the level of professionalism that it was. And I really take my hat out to the you guys and the team for making it speak volumes just for us when we showed up. It was like my mother tends to tell me, lights, camera, action. So,
Thank you for that, Dr. Portia. What about you, Dweety? What was it like for you? What will you say be your, was there any one thing that resonated most with you than others, or you're muted?
Yeah, she forgot.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, but now we can't see you.
Oh, there you
go.
There we go. Sorry about that. I would start off with probably the hospitality, because I remember even getting a phone call prior to the event from someone from just welcoming us, anticipating our coming, and just showing pure joy. And I had the pleasure of meeting the lady. I know her last name is Davis. That's all I remember. Miss Pat. Yes, Miss Pat. So just the hospitality, and then coming in on Saturday, I think it was Leslie that I got to work with. So the warmth, definitely Southern hospitality. And I left the event with knowing that Chosen Pen is an organization of excellence. I saw that a little bit in South Africa, but it was definitely honed in with the Forbes Business Council, that you all have set the bar very high, and that everything you do it with warmth, you do it with heart, and you do it with excellence. And it's just an honor to be a part of that.
Thank you, Dweety. That all speaks to who Dr. Norma is. We wouldn't have it any other way. That's, much of what it's her vision. It's her vision. Dr. Norma, tell us, what was it? You was your vision from the start. We had some logistical things. Let's be clear. Nothing is ever as pretty as you think, but we did a good job of putting some spackle on it and covering it up. But so, Dr. Norma, it was your vision. It came to fruition. We ran into a few snags, but that's life. So tell us what was it like for you?
For me, the entire event, I wanted all of the participants to feel for me, it's love, to feel the love of Chosen Pen, to feel that home feeling. You're coming home. This is a homecoming feeling for me, because I have invited you into my home. And with that, I wanted everyone to feel comfortable. I wanted everyone to feel elated. I wanted to do everything that was possible for you to have an enduring but lasting impression of Chosen Pen. And I think for me, that happened. One of the things that I'm not sure which one said, they got off the plane and said, all we could smell is fried chicken. So I'm sure we're going to have fried chicken.
I think that was Kiana.
I immediately got on my phone, called the caterer, and said, forget about all the little hotsy-totsy stuff we've planned for them to eat. What? We're going Southern food.
Yes.
So
that was
another thing that we said, okay, I mean, if that's what you want, that's what you get. And we believed you once we saw you eating all of that. But again, that just goes to show that we at Chosen Pen try to always honor the desires of our guests.
Yes. It was even a surprise for me, you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you, because Saturday during the day, when the day session was over, I was able to peek my head back to where the chef was working. I was like, do I smell collard greens? Because I knew that wasn't on the menu for originally. He was like, yes, there's been a menu change. I was like, yes, because I know Adrian's cooking. So everybody seemed to be very pleased with the end result, though, nonetheless. So let's go back to a statement that was shared on last week about the importance of saying yes to open doors, or to be able to take the benefits, or the benefit or the blessing, the benefit and blessing of taking advantage of open doors. Portia, if you would share a little wisdom nugget, you and then Dweety, what would you offer to someone if an opportunity was presented and it may stretch them out of their comfort zone, or maybe have them make leaps and bounds and even fly on small, tiny airplanes? I mean, whatever that was, what would be your words of wisdom?
I'll give my experience. Leading up to almost 2 weeks into the event, I was still trying to convince myself that was an opportunity I should take hold of. And Dr. Nama goes, so anyway, so I'll see you. I was like, well, no, I don't think I'm ready, And I think because we get so nervous at the fact that people have made it look like those opportunities are opportunities that you, the mere person, cannot reach at. Because when you hear people talk about they were on the TED Talk stage, or they were on the Forbes stage, they make it sound like it is just that little bit of people that are allowed to have that privilege to do those, to take hold of those opportunities. So I think for me, it was, am I worthy to be part of that group that got the opportunity to speak on a Forbes stage? Am I worthy of that of being in that group that would take the leap to go and do it, to put my nerves aside, to know that I am qualified and prepared enough to stand on that stage and to deliver my message and deliver it clearly. We do great virtually. I could talk from now till tomorrow virtually because I'm here. But when you're doing it in front of an audience that you could actually see their expressions, you could actually maybe hear whatever it is they're going to say, but you still have to be confident in the message that you're giving, in what you know. That's a different kettle of fish all by itself. So I would say, taking the leap of faith to do to go beyond the measure, to go beyond what people say that cannot be done, to go beyond what you think is not reachable. I would say, pray about it, pull yourself together. You are qualified for it. You are prepared for it. You have enough word in you to send you forth to do it. Take that, all of those years of experience and all of those years of doing and studying, and go ahead and take that leap of faith. Because when you do it, then you realize, oh my God, please, Girl, that was nothing to talk about.
I
It was
love it.
all done, and I sat down. I was like, oh, please, I should have done that a
That
lot.
was a piece of cake. Yeah, Dr. Portia, you did so great. You did a great job. So, with regards to stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing something that you've never done before, Dewey, you were on the TEDx stage in March of this year. And then I think I'm
Correct.
saying it right, correct? Yeah, March of this year.
Correct.
And then fast forward in September, you're on the Forbes Business Council. Now, is that something that you just do year after year? You just go from TED to Forbes and Forbes to TED? Is that a new, was that
Wow, I
something new
wish I
for
could
you?
say that.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that is something I do all of the time, but it is not. It's I think both of those opportunities is amazing that my theme this year for myself has been breaking out of my comfort zone. That was what I spoke, that was what I declared. And those declarations have come, and God has blown me out of the water with he has exceeded my expectations, really has. And fear is something I think we all struggle with, especially when it's something that stretches us or makes us break out of that comfort zone. And I've told myself this year, no matter what, you're going to do it. You're going to rise up, you're going to push through it, and you're going to do it, because by doing so, you can be an inspiration for someone else, someone
That's so
that's
true.
coming behind you that may have
Mhm.
these same emotions or may feel the same way. They need to know that someone has done it before and that they too
Yes.
can do it. So for me, if I would tell anyone that has these type of opportunities or whatever it may be, walk through it. Walk through it. Do not push through the fear. Even though you fear it, walk through it, because you do not know what doors are going to open on the other side. So take advantage of
Yes.
it in that moment.
That's good. That's good, Dewey. I appreciate it. Dr.
Mhm.
Norma said in this year, 2023 will be a jaw-dropping year for her. And so we're in the month of October. Dr. Norma, tell us, has your jaw dropped? And if so, how many times? Over and over and again, I would
I
imagine.
it's just unimaginable the things that have happened in my life this year. My jaw probably could lick the floor on sometimes in some occasions. And two of those definitely is having license for Forbes and license for
Yeah.
TEDx. Not very many people, especially Black women, have an opportunity to have those licenses. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do. I want all of you to be able to say, I'm a TEDx speaker. I've been on the TEDx
Yes.
stage. I mean, not only doing a speak 90 minutes, but you are on here doing an 18 minutes. You're ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to go anywhere in the world and do and give the message that God has given to me to give to someone else. So that's a big desire of mine, and that actually happened. But not only did it happen, so many other things have happened in my life. I probably can't even enumerate them all at this point, because right now I'm in parts of preparing a well, I guess I'm not sure what we're calling it. What are we calling it? So many different pieces to all of it. But I'm doing a documentary for the fatherless, which will be signed on Tubi and various other TV stations or whatever they're called. So I'll be going back to South Africa next month in order to film at three fatherless men in 5 African countries. And with that, I will also be showing my book that is supposed to be coming out next month as well. In each of those countries, that we will have an evening with Dr. Norma. And so we're really, Miss Pat is pulling out the things about Swana as we speak. I just got that news today, so I'm going. Okay. So, but that's my latest. I mean, it has been so much that has happened in my life. And as one of my friends told me, Miss Pat, she said, "Well, don't you remember when we were out?" She helped us get the license and everything. We started with Chosen Pen. She said, "But don't you remember when we first started this? You said your biggest goal was to be international and you want to be able to take Chosen Pen all over the world." I said that. She said, yeah, you said that. And obviously that's what's happening. So you spoke it and God honored he honored your request. So,
Yes.
so Chosen Pen, Chosen to Thrive is another, there are businesses, my businesses will be in all 5 of those countries as well. But Chosen to Thrive is a company that we're putting together that will help. One of the biggest problems that we know, I guess, that in South Africa, that women don't have jobs and it's difficult for them because they don't have the training. So as Portia and I, we've been talking about this as well, is putting together a training piece that they can do virtually. And based on that, several countries, other countries, have already come aboard and asking to be a part of that and sponsoring some of those ladies in order to have that work done for them.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
another big piece that we're working on right now. So tell your mom we're trying to do something.
Will do.
She wanted me to come start a school, I think she said.
Yeah, she did say that. I remember. It all started with the decision to start a publishing company. Well, to yield to the idea of starting a publishing company. And then, of course, that was a stretch outside the comfort zone. And then,
big stretch out the comfort zone.
Going to Africa started with the forgiveness piece, which is why one of our platforms on the Forbes Council, as well as the TEDx, has to do with the principle of forgiveness. But then entrepreneurship and literacy also. So everything that Chosen Pen is about, of course, literacy as a publishing company, but also literacy from the perspective of encouraging literacy amongst our youth, but just in general, period. So one of the panels, discussed that. And then women in business, we salute, we celebrate, we encourage, we work to equip women in business, whether they be authors or in some other's perspective, but then also to provide platforms for them to share and to be seen and to be heard, not only here, but in Africa. And then, of course, again, as I said before, the forgiveness piece. So that's what Chosen Pen is all about. And Dr. Norma, it all started with your yes to start the publishing company. So, and then, of course, I end up adding it in because I wrote a book. I made a decision to write a book at my husband's, advisement, and Dr. Norma became my mentor. And then here I am, fully engulfed in a whole lot of other stuff that I never would have imagined, So when you say yes to an opportunity and it's been presented to you, it's a gift. It really is. It's a gift given, and you just don't know how, as you unwrap it, what's going to come about. But it is a gift, and the gift just keeps giving. And not only it gives to you, but it also gives you an opportunity to give to others. So thank you, Dr. Norma, for being the gift that keeps on giving.
Wow. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. So, Dr. Norma, any last comments? Because we're at our 30-minute mark, and I didn't want to hold the ladies too long, but any last?
I just want to say thank you to not only to you, but to all the people who have participated in last month. Hey, Ebony. As well as this month, last month, and the months prior to hey, Jasmine, because all these ladies are popping up now, are ladies who are held high in the net. But we have, when the Holy Spirit spoke to me back 10 years ago, they say that you have ladies sitting around your table who have stories, but there are not only those ladies that have stories to tell, but there are people who are out there desperately waiting to hear their stories in order for them to also become overcomers. And of course, when the Holy Spirit spoke that to me, I said, well, I'm not doing that. I've already graduated, I retired. I'm just here writing these little Bible studies and sitting around my dining room table with my ladies on whatever night that is. And that's about all I'm planning on doing. But, I have a great way of saying no to the Holy Spirit before. I guess he or she or it, whatever, has a great way of saying that's not what you're doing. So let's come on and get going. So from that moment to this moment now, 10 years later, not having any idea what God had in store and God's sovereignty that, okay, just come on, do what I tell you to do, because I have nations waiting for you. And based on that, I've spoken to the president of Botswana's wife. She invited, had me stand there in Ottawa. Oh, I'm so happy to meet Chosen Pen. I'm ready for you to write my book. I'm going, you know who I am? So I met so many people who were in such high level places who were asking me to do various things. All of the women in Botswana want me to write their story. because they're the first women who've actually been in parliament in Boston, because most of Africa, the women have yet to arrive in any decision-making role. So I'm going there to interview them, to write their stories, and it will become a book and another documentary. So not only that, it's just every day is something else. So you all get ready, because as I go, what happens, Anissa?
You have to go with her.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
We're
Opportunity knocks. That's the beautiful thing about it. And that's one of the things I so appreciate about Dr. Norma, because she said, so many times, this is not about me. This is about others.
Yeah.
And so because I said yes to an opportunity to be able to bring others with us. And that's what she's doing. She's doing her very best to bring others with her. Dr. Norma, Jenny says hello. Jenny is another part of the Chosen Pen family, and she's not even here in the United States. I can't remember. Is it
Philippines?
She's in the Philippines, and she's a part of the Chosen Pen family. Tamika says hello. Well, she sends hearts, I guess. She sends hearts.
Hi, Tamika. I
That's
need
my
to
best
talk to you.
friend. That's my new best friend. But it's been a joy. It really has. It's been a joy. It has been a joy. It really has. There's so much more I could say, but we're out of time. But thank you so much again for Dweety for saying yes to being a part of the celebration, and for saying yes to this window of time. I know you're in the midst of travel, so thank you for parking to be a part of the podcast. We so appreciate you. And Portia, listen, if we're gonna get on the small plane and come see you too, okay? So
Listen, that's what it's supposed. Yes,
we're gonna
that sounds a little bit,
we actually will. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you to all of you who always watch. Don't forget, comment. Thank you for your comments and your feedback. Be sure to share this. We want this community to grow, and we'll be sure to be back next week, because the conversation continues, the celebration continues. You're going to have an opportunity to meet the one and only Dr. Kiana Dancy. She is like none other. So just get ready to laugh, and that's going to be a power-packed conversation, because of her personality is so huge.
Yes.
We've got more guests next week and the week that follows. And so we're going to be continuing the celebration of 10 years. Chosen Pen celebrates 10. Thank you for being a part of this experience, and for all of your love, for your prayers, for your support. And we look forward to seeing you again next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great Monday night, ladies.
Good night.